Okay, I just finished season 2 of Severance, and whoever said that I would have all of the answers that I need by the end of season 2 lied. You lied. You lied. Now, let me talk about the parts that I enjoyed. I enjoy these 4 main characters. They are decently developed. Let me stop lying. Dylan, Helly, and Mark are decently developed. Irving is a little underdeveloped, if for no other reason that we aren't getting enough information about what his outie has been up to. No breadcrumbs to understand how he's a part of the larger puzzle on the outside as the person who's been drawing this hallway. How did he know anything about the hallway as the outie, as the person who has a chest filled with things about Lumen and about Kier and about severed employees, etc.? What was he doing? We know him as a company man. Like on the inside, he's all about the rules. So it's not odd that on the outside he could be the opposite. We just don't know why. We just don't know what he's up to. So he's a bit underdeveloped. I also think that all of the other characters are underdeveloped, especially the bad guys. I just expect in 2025 for characters to be a little bit more complicated, for me as an audience member to not so easily be able to choose a side. And season 1 and season 2 have just shown that Lumen is decently one-dimensional. Miss Cobell is one-dimensional. Milchek is one-dimensional. Even Helena on the outside is one-dimensional. There's nothing for me to grab onto as a viewer to go, maybe they've got something. Maybe they understand something that we don't understand. Maybe this is for the greater good and we just don't like how we get there. With that being said, as I said before, I just simply think the writers don't know what Lumen is up to. I think they are excited about this new world, excited about making it weird, excited about making it cool, and not actually understanding what it is, because if so, we would have some breadcrumbs, we would have some connecting dots. With that being said, I love the fact that Mark's innie has to choose between Helly on the inside and Gemma on the outside. Totally love that moment. Great. Got it. Here are the parts that don't connect for me. The innie was the one who realized that Gemma was alive. When he has his, I think they call it OTC moment, and he's at his brother-in-law's book reading and he becomes his innie and he's walking around. He's heard about his outie having a wife that passed away, etc., etc. When he sees the picture of them together, he says she's alive. That's what he's running to say as the plug is being pulled and they're going to be pulled back into their outies. And that's the end of the season. So he is the one who knows that Gemma is alive. We come back to season 2 and he is the one who is telling all of his friends at work that Gemma is alive, that Gemma is Miss Casey. He immediately starts making missing posters to find her. He then even has his girlfriend to help to find her. So I do not understand when his outie says to him, hey, let's work together to get her out of here, why we spend 20 minutes of him saying no. 20 minutes of him saying, I don't trust you. Now, I get it that he has his own existence on the inside. So reintegrating is something that he doesn't want to do because that would mean the end of him, or from what he understands is the end of him. Totally understand why he would be like, I don't know. But outside of that, Mark, the outie, hasn't given him a reason to distrust him. And he has already been looking for Gemma. So now suddenly he's so against helping, so against looking for Gemma. And it just felt like, let's drag this part out because it's cool to have the innie and the outie be in conversation and to argue, different sides of this. But it didn't make sense, the innie's point of view about Gemma in particular. Because again, reintegrating and that being new and not understanding it, cool. Yeah, great. Let's talk about that. But the Gemma part didn't make sense. Even more so because as soon as he got back in there, he started looking for her again with no hesitation. As soon as he got back in there, his thoughts were, well, maybe I shouldn't finish the thing, because then how does that help Gemma? He didn't even take 2 seconds to not help. He said, when I walk through this thing, I better be inside Lumen. I don't trust you guys. And then went in there and started looking for Gemma immediately. So why did we just listen to you rant for 20 minutes about not wanting to help? Why? Why did we do that? Some other things that we learned but did not connect any dots. This wasn't in the finale, but in episode 7, we get to see what Gemma is doing. By the finale, we learn that they are creating innies. Like, that's what they're doing at their computers. They're creating 25 different innies of Gemma. Why? To what end? Why does the company need 25 different innies of Gemma? Why Gemma? Why is she so important? Why did Miss Cobell have a house next to Mark? Is it Mark that she wants and that's why they're using Gemma? Or is it Gemma that they want and that's why they're using Mark? Either way, why? What makes them so special? What makes them so special? That's the information that I need. That's what I should have been learning in the flashbacks in episode 7. What makes these two people so special that you're willing to do all of this at this company, especially if Miss Cobell is saying it was kind of her idea, what they're doing at Lumen. So what does that have to do with Gemma and Mark? We also learned the function of the goats. So the goats are used as like a sacrifice to help the soul of the person they're killing meet Kier, whatever the F that means, which was also generations upon generations upon generations ago, before they even started doing Severance, especially if Severance is Miss Cobell's idea. So what does Kier want? And how does Kier want what Miss Cobell wants when Kier should have been dead long time ago? Because y'all have said that these are in season 1, it's like we're on X amount of generations of these people, of Egans at this point. So so we understand the function of the goats, but why? Why? And if the woman said no more killings, or how many more do we have to kill, then we can assume that this is not the first time they've done that. So does that mean that Gemma is not special? And if Gemma is not special, she's still special enough to be the person who was chosen. It doesn't seem like it's arbitrary. It seems like it's about her. She's about to unlock everything. And as the doctor yells, you guys are going to kill everyone as they're leaving. So she's special because she was the person who was chosen to do this. But there must have been people who have done this before, because the lady with the goats said, how many more times I got to kill my children, my goats, right? So I likely will not watch season 3, because I don't trust the show. I just don't believe that they know what they're doing. I believe that they are very creative people. I believe that they really understand like the dynamics between relationships, which is the part that I'm enjoying. But I do not think they know what's happening here. And it's giving me a Manifest 2.0. Because let me tell you what, in Manifest, they didn't know what happened to that plane. That's why they couldn't tell you, because they don't know. They don't know. It was a premise pilot. It was based on the flight going missing, and they don't know why it went missing. Also, if season 3 was already out and I can just continue to binge, I would have watched it, because I just would have let it roll over into the next, shows or whatever. But because it is, still in production and who knows when it's going to come back, I likely will not have any interest, but we shall see. So did you see the whole 2 seasons, and how are you feeling about it? And are you going to come back for season 3? Happy writing. The professional pen. The professional